The restaurant buzzed with polished laughter, crystal glasses chiming beneath golden chandeliers, when the first scream sliced the air. 4 men in maintenance overalls locked the front doors of La Renaissance, Manhattan's crown jewel of fine dining. In an instant pistols gleamed, the elegant chatter collapsed into panic, and the leader pressed the barrel of his gun into the spine of Victoria Ashford. So billionaire untouchable. 50 million. Or bodies hit the floor. But the room froze not because of his threat, but because of who was sitting 3 tables away. A boy, just 15, just chewing his hamburger like none of this mattered. His calm would change everything, and before you read further, don't forget to subscribe, because what happens next is not just a story, it's the beginning of an empire built on vengeance, strategy, and truth. The boy's name was Daniel Reeves. His school blazer looked worn, his sneakers frayed, but his eyes carried something older, something precise. "Kid," barked one of the robbers, pointing his weapon. "Phone. On the table. Now." Daniel finished chewing, wiped his mouth with a napkin, and looked up with steady calm. "I'm listening." No fear, no tremor, just that eerie serenity. It made the scarred leader falter. Daniel blinked once, scanning the exits, the chandelier above, the fire extinguisher on the wall. His father's voice echoed in his mind. "Observe everything. Exits, weapons, weaknesses." General Marcus Reeves had died 3 months ago, officially of a heart attack. But Daniel knew the truth. Murder disguised as nature, because his father uncovered a corruption empire too large to forgive. "You have 4 minutes and 37 seconds before police arrive," Daniel said flatly. The room held its breath. The leader sneered. "And how would you know that?" "Basic observation," Daniel replied. "The manager tapped his watch 3 times when you broke in. Standard silent alarm code." Silence, then cruel laughter. But before the laugh died, Daniel moved. A precise kick shattered a table leg, flinging glass and plates into the leader's face. Hot sauce blinded him. Daniel's hands gripped a chair, launching it into the chandelier. Glass rained down like fire. "Back door now," he shouted to Victoria. She obeyed instantly. Years of boardroom instincts told her this was no ordinary teenager. The robbers tried to regroup. One fired into the ceiling. Another lunged. But Daniel was faster. Foam from the fire extinguisher blinded one. A pressure point strike dropped another screaming to his knees. His movements weren't frantic, they were trained. His father had prepared him for this exact chaos. "Wrong restaurant," Daniel said softly, stepping between Victoria and the robbers. "And the wrong boy." The leader, wiping sauce from his scarred face, froze when he saw the stance, the posture of military discipline. Who the hell are you?" he stammered. Daniel didn't answer. Sirens wailed outside. Right on time. 3 men entered through the kitchen, civilian clothes, but with the unmistakable bearing of soldiers. Veterans, his father's men, guardians who never abandoned the general's bloodline. They moved silently, weapons drawn, ordering the robbers to their knees. Victoria's breath shook. Daniel calmly picked up his backpack, revealing folders marked Operation Cleanup. This wasn't chance. This was strategy. "Sorry to interrupt dinner, Ms. Ashford," Daniel said politely. "After the police are done, we need to discuss your ties to Defcon Industries." The name made her blood run cold. Her empire had just collided with a 15-year-old carrying his father's war. Hours later, the police station buzzed with a chaos of statements, signatures, and hushed whispers. Victoria Ashford, Queen of Wall Street, scribbled shaky words on a form while replaying the boy's precision in her mind. Detective Reynolds leaned back, impressed. 15 years old. Moved like a trained operative. "You're lucky he was there." Lucky. That word felt wrong. Victoria stepped into the night air, where her attorney waited. "Find everything on Daniel Reeves. Father, mother, school, medical records, I want it all," she snapped. The tablet in his hand glowed with information. "Already started." His father, General Marcus Reeves, Pentagon Audit Director, died 3 months ago. It was heart attack, but... He hesitated. The general was investigating DEFCON Industries. Your DEFCON. Her pulse spiked. That was classified. Buried. Daniel had spoken the name deliberately. A dagger slipped between her ribs. Hours later, her phone vibrated with a message from an unknown number. Thank you for not mentioning our agreement to the police. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. Coffee Corner, 5th Avenue. We'll talk about DEFCON. Victoria typed back, trembling with rage. You're a child. I'm not threatened by children. The reply was immediate. Neither was my father. 72 hours later, he was dead. Coincidences are fascinating, aren't they? At Coffee Corner, Victoria hid behind sunglasses and a scarf, as if disguises could protect her. Daniel arrived on time, worn backpack slung over his shoulder, ordering hot chocolate. He spoke casually, almost disarmingly. My father trained me for this. Military strategy, cryptography, observation. He knew dangerous men would kill him one day, so he prepared me to finish his work. He slid a folder across the table. Autopsy reports, toxicology evidence, photographs, digitalis poisoning, murder masked as a heart attack. This is a copy. Originals are in 17 secure locations. Victoria's composure cracked. What do you want? She whispered. Justice, Daniel replied. 51% of DEFCON transferred to veterans. Public resignation. No courtroom battles. Just restitution. Her jaw tightened. That's extortion. Daniel smiled. No, that's survival. He placed $5 on the table for his hot chocolate, stood, and delivered the final blow. You didn't just kill my father, Ms. Ashford. You created his legacy. And it looks like me. The next 48 hours unfolded like a chess match Victoria couldn't win. She unleashed her arsenal. Investigators, hackers, smear campaigns painting Daniel as a disturbed boy drowning in conspiracy theories. But every strike only backfired. Daniel was 3 steps ahead. An anonymous video went viral. Daniel in his school uniform speaking directly to millions. In the coming days, they'll call me disturbed, dangerous, obsessed. But remember, desperate people smear the truth. My name is Daniel Reeves, and my father was murdered for uncovering corruption. 6 hours later, 2 million views. David versus Goliath had a new face. Victoria's office filled with rage and panic. How is he doing this? She screamed. An envelope arrived minutes later. Inside, a photo of her leaving her lawyer's building just an hour earlier. On the back, every move is watched, every word recorded. Surrender while you can still choose how you fall. Terror replaced fury. Her investigator's call confirmed her worst fear. Daniel wasn't alone. At least a dozen veterans, ex-special forces, shadowed him constantly. This wasn't a traumatized teenager. This was a silent military operation carried out by a dead general's men, with his son as their weapon. Still she tried to fight. She arranged meetings with fixers, plotted eliminations, whispered of accidents. Daniel anticipated it all. He intercepted phone calls, recorded meetings, documented bribes. Every misstep tightened the noose. Another flash drive arrived. Audio of her deals with senators, photos of her fixer, and proof she had ordered the silencing of General Reeves. The weight was crushing. Her billion-dollar empire, built on blood and lies, teetered on the edge. She wasn't battling a boy. She was battling her own sins, sharpened into a blade by the son of the man she betrayed. The co-pilot's broken voice cracked again. Please. Anyone with combat aviation training, identify yourself now. We are flying blind through a Category 5 storm. I've never done this alone. Richard stood tall in first class, puffing his chest. My brother-in-law is a private pilot. I've flown with him dozens of times. I can help. His arrogance dripped with entitlement, but a flight attendant shook her head. Sir, civilian training isn't enough. Richard barked back. I paid 15,000 for these seats. I have more experience than anyone here. Kesha stood quietly, her movements calm, deliberate, cutting through the storm of panic. She walked forward, and with a voice that silenced the cabin, she spoke. Colonel Kesha Washington, United States Air Force. 500 hours in F-22 Raptors. Expert in extreme navigation. Richard's jaw dropped. You've got to be kidding. But passengers turned to her, some with skepticism, others with hope. Without hesitation, she rattled off emergency procedures, her words so precise, so detailed, that only the most highly trained pilots could know them by heart. Silence spread through the cabin. The co-pilot's eyes widened with relief. Ma'am, the cabin is yours. Richard sputtered. Anyone can memorize facts. She doesn't belong here. But the truth was undeniable. Every word, every movement, every ounce of calm in Kesha screamed authority born from fire. Mr. Blackwood, she said softly, there are pilots who fly when it's easy, pilots who fly when it's hard, and pilots who fly when it's impossible. I am the third kind. The aircraft jolted violently, but Kesha didn't flinch. I've flown through war zones with 2 engines gone, no navigation, and missiles on my tail. And I brought everyone home. She turned toward the cockpit. Richard's protest died in his throat. The woman he dismissed was about to save his life.